Hey, welcome to my channel. It is so good to see you on here. Please like and subscribe as you get into this. If you find something that is helpful to grow your business, to grow your personal brand, please subscribe. I will really appreciate that, and that helps me to bring more content for you. Anyhow, I was going to talk to you about a certain type of fish, according to the story that I was listening to, that is grown in Japan. Now, this is an interesting type of fish. This type of fish, right, will grow according to the size of the aquarium or the fish tank that you place it in. I got to thinking, isn't that interesting? What if you are a big fish? You have the potential to be a big fish, but somebody has placed you in a little aquarium, in a little fish tank. You started off because you wanted a job, you wanted to pay your bills, you wanted to support your family, right? Some of us relocated, we traveled around the world because we wanted better opportunities for ourselves and our families, and we were willing to work. We were willing to do whatever it takes. But then, have you noticed something about life? You may have never heard this way. Sometimes what starts out as a solution for you in the current problem that you're having, there comes a time where you outgrow that situation. Because you're better now. The problem is fixed. You're out of that situation. You're not in that same limitation anymore. It is time to grow. This is where the challenge is. Some of you are a big fish, but you have allowed the organization that you're a part of, the company that you're a part of, the ministry that you're a part of, the relationship that you're a part of, or the family that you came from, to keep you in a small fish tank. And you know you can do more. You want to eat more. You have an appetite for more. You have this appetite for life. So even when you started your business, you are still behaving like an employee. There is a huge difference in starting your own business. And you'll probably hear this from every side, and you may have some people teasing you. And maybe it got too hard and you gave up and walked away. Because you allowed different emotions to frustrate you, to take charge of how you think and feel. You allowed the emotions to stop you from taking action when you were supposed to take action to build your business. You allowed old emotions from the past because you got triggered. And instead of going forward, you allowed those emotions of your past, how you used to respond, you're still responding in the same way. You're a big fish, you know. You can take on more. You can do more. So one of the things I enjoy talking about is building your personal brand. Listen to this. Your personal brand is your ticket to freedom. Your personal brand is your ticket to freedom. You no longer have to be limited by your job title. You no longer have to be limited by your income. You no longer have to be limited by your cultural background. You no longer have to be limited by what you have, the amount of technology that you have or have access to. Because now with the internet, even if you don't have the internet at home, you can go to a local library, just study the times that the library is open, and start building your own website. In the middle of your challenges, that is the best time to dream big. In the middle of your challenges, in the middle of not knowing what's going to happen, that's the best time to start thinking about your future. Start planning your future. Oh yes, where you decide to be audacious and bold. I am building my personal brand. Because you decide, I am not where I came from. I am not even the challenges I've experienced. If anything, the challenges have revealed my strengths and my weaknesses. I can learn something from that. So your personal brand is your own ticket to freedom. You get to write whatever you want on there. Because you see, God has given us abundant life. God has given us everything we need for life and godliness. You don't have to be limited by anything or anyone. You may have been feeling like you're a small fish because you're part of a bigger company. People who are making more money than you. You thought because they're making more money than you, they're better than you, right? Maybe you saw somebody driving a better car than yours and you thought they're better than you. Maybe you saw somebody, I don't know what it is, because each of us have our own reference. You have to decide from today, this is the last day I'm going to allow myself to be limited. This is the last day I'm going to allow myself to hold myself back. I'm not going to stand in my own way. So I want you to consider creating and being part of a coaching package that helps you from the time you start your business. Ideally, that you've already got 2 or 3 businesses, clients rather, 5 clients, and you want to take your business to the next level. Here is my offer to you. One of the things I want to help you with is how to grow your business to be a global brand, even if it may feel like you are playing Little League right now. You see, you have to have a bigger vision in your mind. You have to think, where do I want my life to be? Where do I want to end up when I'm in my 90s? Who do I want to be around me in my 90s? Will people be coming around me, asking me for advice and my wisdom because of the life I chose to live? So many people have decided they want to learn from me. People are booking flights around the world to come and learn from you because you were willing to overcome your fears and just go for it. And one of the things I want to say to you is that I say to my other coaching clients, do not even feel intimidated. The good thing with working with a coach is you start where you are. We look at what you're good at, what your skill set is, what you're really amazing at, what comes naturally to you, what you enjoy seeing. What is the feeling you get when this happens, when you've done this, or when you've spoken to this kind of person, or when you're in this kind of meeting, or you're watching a certain video, or you're watching a certain movie? What makes you come alive? Right? Start exploring that. And do not even postpone, because you know what? Action takers are the big money makers. Action takers are the big money makers. And one of the things I enjoy is coaching people to come from a place of fear, feeling timid, to opening up, showing your live streams, doing your own TikTok videos, doing your own live stream, coming on YouTube. That is just, I also have a healthcare background. One of the things I enjoy the most is to see somebody who was like at death's door. They were not going to make it. To walk out of that critical care department. That's when I worked as a nurse in the NHS and the Bupa private hospitals. And then so I take the same mindset into business. It is amazing to see somebody who is wondering, how is this going to happen? Is my past holding me back? Do I not care enough for myself? Because of the coaching, that person starts to realize, oh my goodness, I can totally do this. I absolutely can do this. I can bring my A game. That's one of the things I love about coaching, is to see somebody transforming, somebody changing, making better decisions, making new priorities, and being willing to be committed to the life by design that they choose. So online marketing, as your coach, is to help you to understand how to use social media as leverage, or how to use a blog, or how to use an email list to grow your business. There are so many different aspects of your business that you don't even have to do everything. You also learn how to do automation. Some of you have already heard about that, but you're not taking action. Because you see, it's not about how much we learn, right? It's not how many YouTube videos we watch. It's what we're willing to take action on. That's a game changer. That's the game changer. That's what changes everything. That's what separates the men from the boys, the women from the kids, right? It's the people who are willing to take action, who are willing to execute. You're willing to execute because you realize this is not just about learning. This is about implementing what I'm learning. I want to do more. I want to accomplish more. You decide, I want to accomplish more. I'm not going to be where I've always been. Yes. This world has everything we need. I know you may like listening to the news to support a lack mindset. Oh, you see, the economy is going down. Oh, you see, people are struggling with buying and selling houses. Because listen, whatever you choose to defend and fight for, you will always find the stories to support it. You will always find the wisdom, as bad wisdom as it is, you will find the people who will tell you, oh yes, it's actually true. This is not the time to be doing this. You can decide, I'm doing this now and I'm moving forward. Right? Because this world is not conditioned to help you to succeed. It's not conditioned to help you to get to where you want to be. In fact, can I tell you this? There will be people who are in relationship with you or who are trying to be in relationship with you only to stop you, only to limit you, only to frustrate you, only to convince you of any unhealed wounds, right? Because you see, the life that we are all living, it's a life of growing, becoming better, healing the inner child, healing all those wounds that we've suffered from different types of traumas, turning your pain into passion and profit. Don't waste your suffering. Don't let everything you've gone through be for nothing. It's time to believe in yourself more and build that personal brand. Listen, your personal brand, like I said before, is your ticket to freedom. Your personal brand is you deciding, oh, heck no, I'm doing this on my terms. I am not going to wait for somebody to write me that check. I'm going to decide when and how. And when you are building something new, by the way, this is where you start learning different skill sets and understanding what you enjoy the most. Because sometimes, of course, when you start, depending on the business model that you choose, you'll have to do everything, from finding the clients, from doing the marketing, from promoting your business. When you're starting, that's what it may demand. But maybe you're starting from a place where you can actually outsource some of the skills that need to be done to grow that business. And that is absolutely fine. You can choose which way you go. Some of us, it may mean downsizing because you decide, I'm going to escape the middle class mindset. The middle class mindset, impressing people who don't care about you. Working hard to impress people who will not support you. Working hard to impress people who will not pick you out of a ditch. That's a middle class mindset. People who don't care anything about your story. And middle class mindset, the fear, the crab mentality pulling you down. Like, you can't achieve that. Haven't you noticed what you've done? Yes. So building your personal brand is to break away from the limitation. Building your personal brand is breaking away from your own limitations. And these could be self-imposed limitations. Because maybe you don't believe in yourself that you can learn a new skill. Right? But imagine deciding, you know what, I'm going to learn what email marketing is. I'm going to learn how to build my website. I'm going to learn how to drive traffic to my website. I'm going to learn how to do short form video where I'm posting on Reels, on YouTube Shorts, on Facebook Stories, on TikTok Stories, right? Because social media is leverage, right? To help you, to support you. That is why I appreciate all the platforms, but you also have to follow the guidelines of each particular platform. Don't do your own thing. You have to understand what they like and they don't like. They like to build safe communities around each platform. So you have to understand that. Such that if you're excited about something, sometimes you have to control yourself, like, don't post that, just wait. Maybe leave that post for tomorrow. So building your personal brand is also giving yourself permission to make the transition where you cross that bridge and you're like, I'm not going back there ever again. I'm going to do whatever it takes. There is no plan B. I'm not giving myself an option. This has to work. There is no other way. Because you see, sometimes when you have too many options, we can get a bit lazy because you're just like, but you know what? The way God designed us is to heal our own journey, to be making decisions that help us heal. And there is nothing like building your own business that helps you to overcome your own insecurities, your own bias towards other people. Yes? Building a business helps you to force yourself to be clear-headed, be clear-minded. Where are you trying to actually go? What are you trying to accomplish? You become the captain of your ship. You're no longer depending on somebody else to write you a check. You're no longer waiting for somebody to support you or your friends, because usually in a work environment, right? When you're in the right work environment, sometimes we have peers, yes, who tell us, oh, this is good, I really like that. So sometimes the problem with that is we rely too much on external validation. And many of us know external validation may not always be safe validation. Because the people that you're relying on to make you feel like you exist, that what you talk about matters, that your presence here is important and that you deserve to be here, it may be a little bit twisted. Because sometimes, this is what I've learned on my own journey, there are people who will like you as long as you are according to their mindset, because they have a lack mindset, as long as they're doing better than you. So they will support you as long as they're the ones you're asking for help. They wouldn't want it any other way. They wouldn't want to turn around and say, oh, they need help from you. They prefer to see you as somebody who needs something from them. So there are people who will like you as long as you stay on the trash heap of your life. That is why even in the coaching, one of the things I like to talk about is reframing your story. That you have come from the right background. You have come from the right culture. You are the right gender, by the way. You are the right age. You've got the right skill set. You don't need a degree to build the business that you want. You see, building your own personal brand, what I like about this is it's a way of rewriting your own story as well. You are rewriting your journey, the setbacks that you experience, the things about you that nobody even knows, that you decide, I'm going to heal my inner child. If there's something I didn't get, I can work for it now. I don't have to rely on anyone else. I don't have to depend on anyone else. Because you see, sometimes you need help from somebody else, but they may not be in the right mindset to help you. They may not be in the right frame of mind at the time. They may be going through their own challenges. Yes? I know of some families who get really antagonistic because a family member they believe is doing better than them. How dare they not help them? Interesting, right? It is interesting in life that somebody can play the victim, and that doesn't please God, because God didn't make any victim. No matter what we go through, when we ask God to help us, we become overcomers, we become champions, we become rock stars, where you own your journey, that even the devil himself cannot stop you, because you believe God's word about your life, and you believe your spiritual identity. And you choose, I'm not going to have anything to do with works of darkness. By the way, that's one of the ways to win in life. Where you choose, I'm not going to do anything that the devil wants me to do through my flesh. Because one of the fruits of the Spirit, by the way, is self-control. You don't have to answer every insult. You don't have to answer every ridicule. The enemy will use people to try and stop you, block you, frustrate you, take you out. Whatever the enemy wants to do to stop you from having a story that God did this for me. So if I was you, I would choose to be on the side of God, because God is great. God is the greatest. There is no life He cannot turn around. There is no family that He cannot turn around. That is why we do not give up halfway, right? The Bible says that we overcome evil with good. So whatever you have experienced, whatever the negativity is, decide that my business is my opportunity for me to change my financial future. Even the other day, yesterday actually, I was watching this influencer's journey. He's a YouTuber. How he just started as a young person, making a lot of mistakes. Some of his YouTube videos were really rubbish, but the whole thing is documented. Somebody in Africa, because this really touched my heart, he decided to go and build 100 wells in different parts of Africa because he's doing so well in his finances. But what touched me even the most, before I tell you that story, is how when he was working with a certain brand, he decided to give away all that money to homeless people. And they videoed the whole thing where he's giving this homeless man $10,000. And I was just like, that's one of the keys to living a life of victory and a life of joy, where you're not controlled by money anymore. The more money he made, the more he gave away. It's just like, that is how to live life, where you're not controlled by money, where you can give it all away. Because it's like you decide, my life is bigger than that. I'm not here in this life to accumulate money, to secure my future with money. There's no security in money. Our future is secure in God. And whatever we lose, you can always get it back. God is a restorer. God is great. So I'm not sure where you are with your business. I've got a coaching program at the moment where if you come in, we look at where you are right now. We assess what you're doing on social media. We look at all the different platforms you're on. And then we start reassessing what's the best strategy for you. But more importantly, where do you want to be? That's an important question. That's what I always ask my coaching clients. Where do you want to be this time next year? This time in 5 years' time? Because that's what decides your journey, right? That is what will keep you persistent. That is what will keep you going even when times are tough, when it gets difficult, when it looks like nothing is working. Let me go back to the story about the YouTuber who built 100 wells in Africa. It was just a beautiful thing for me to see, because as he was building these different wells in different parts of Africa, part of me was thinking, how much does it cost to get that equipment to drill those water holes or something, and get the water up to the surface so people are not walking miles? It is so frustrating. People are walking miles to go and get dirty water. Isn't that the trick of the evil one, where even you are working so hard only to get rubbish, only to get what will actually make you sick potentially? That's one of the tricks of the enemy, to make people think like it has to be so hard. I remember thinking, how much does that equipment really cost? You mean there are no governments in these poor communities in Africa, in Asia, in South America? Poor communities are all over in the world. It's not just in Africa. Because sometimes some Africans like to play the victim, like, oh, if we had this. Poor communities are everywhere, even here in the West. Because it's about the mind. It's about how we are willing to use the resources God has already given us. Some of us are waiting for the government to change. What if the government doesn't change? Or when the government changes, another leader comes on. When you're waiting for that person doesn't fulfill the promises they said they would. What now? Right? So going back to that YouTuber, when he was doing those wells in Africa, one young kid said to him, what does it take to be successful? This is what he said to her. Little kid. Another thing he did, before I tell you that, is these kids would walk miles. That's another school, by the way, to school. He bought bikes for the whole school, all the kids. Yeah, it was quite emotional for me. It was quite emotional for me to see that. That's what generosity really is, where you don't have to be a big name, where you're just an influencer, just doing content online. That's the thing about the internet, right? It's not just about us. I kid you not. I have learned on my own journey, if your life is only about you and your safety and your comfort, that everything is working well for you, it's a very miserable life. When you are self-obsessed, it's a miserable life. But when you're thinking, how can I do something for somebody? What content can I post today? And I'm not saying that doesn't mean you neglect yourself. By all means, no. I had to learn that from my healthcare background. Some of you may be starting a business and you have a healthcare background and you're not sure how to put yourself first by building your business. That's one of the things we learn in the coaching. So going back to that story, the 100 wells in Africa, this is what the YouTuber said to the kid. He said to her, if you are willing to work hard and you're willing to apply yourself, no matter how long it takes, one day you'll see the results of your hard work. And you should see that little kid smiling back at him. Because you see, what I love about being a child and a young person, which it doesn't matter what age, you can have that childlike mindset, that sense of wonder, that sense of excitement about life, where everything you enjoy the simple things about life, right? Where you see abundance everywhere, you see opportunities everywhere, where you unlearn all the nonsense from religious helplessness, by the way. Some of us have to unlearn the religious helplessness. The God of the Bible empowers you. But in some religious circles, you learn to be helpless, where you think it's only God who has to do things. It's about partnering with God. So, in my online marketing, It's about you making a decision, where do I want to be? Where do I want my business to be? An even bigger question is, what is my life assignment? What is my place in the marketplace? Because you see, if you're building a business and you're doing marketing, you have to think bigger. You can't think just about this little space. You know, I remember when I would post some videos on Facebook, I was a little bit intimidated to come on YouTube. I cannot believe, but that's where my mindset was then. Right? I didn't understand that it is just about putting the content out. It's just about helping somebody else to make their life better. A little improvement. But of course, I'm also grateful that I'm here now because I am more confident. I'm happier in who I am. I understand. I've done a journey with God. I've seen God move in my life. I've seen God do some incredible things in my life. I've seen God heal me from pain I didn't understand. I've seen God restore how I see myself. So now I'm just like, it's okay, let's do YouTube. But you will also find me on TikTok. I'm active on TikTok. I do live streams every now and again. There are times I change it up, I switch it up a little bit. Sometimes I'm there like 4 days in a row, according to what I sense I need to be doing. And then other times I'm just a little bit quiet because I'm reassessing what's working. Because that's the other thing about marketing. Some of you don't understand. Marketing is about testing. What worked last month may not work this month. What worked 3 years ago may not work now. The marketplace is always changing. What people like is always changing. Yes? So you have to be willing to commit for the long haul. If you're building a business and the personal brand, you are deciding this is my lifestyle, this is the direction I'm going, and that's it. I don't have an option to go back there too, right? So that's what building your personal brand is, your sense of freedom. Building a whole new life on your agenda, on your time zone, where you decide it's not about where I am now, it's about where I'm going. Where you decide I'm no longer limited by time. So, if you decide to come and do the online marketing, right, the coaching package, like I said, we'll look at what you're doing right now, your social media, look at your social media accounts, and what you could change, what you could switch up a little bit. Like even on my own accounts, right, like I'm on TikTok, sometimes I look on my TikTok account and I see what is resonating with my audience. What does my audience really like? What are they engaging with? Because sometimes what I like, they're not really interested. They're just like, nah. They like it because maybe it shows up on their feed. But I realized digging a bit deeper, sometimes what people like is a little bit different than what I thought. So I appreciate you coming on this video. What I want to ask you to do for me, please do me a favor. I'm growing this YouTube account because I want to reach more people. I want to be more effective. Please subscribe. And if you have any question, you want to contact me, or you're like, I'm interested in that coaching. I really need to grow in my confidence. I really need to reach more people. I think if I push my product to more people, I will see a difference. Yes? Because you know what? That's why we're in business. We're in business to make a difference. We're in business to make a stand, what we stand for, what we believe in. Some of us want to make a difference in communities. Some of us want to build schools. Some of us want to help with certain issues that we're seeing in our communities, health issues. I don't know what your thing is. So that's your discussion with God, right? You have to talk with God. See what is in your heart. Where does God want you to be in the marketplace? Because some of us are marketplace ambassadors, but like a story I said at the beginning, you are a little fish and you have settled in a little pond. Don't settle in a little pond. Don't settle in a little aquarium. You have to jump out. Because you see, it's like what somebody else said. Do not allow people to label you. People may call you a single parent. Your family may call you a divorcee. Your siblings may call you didn't make it. Whatever they did. Your ex may call you so many things. Your ex-church may call you different things. People who don't like you, you have to decide, you're not going to put me in a little tank. I want to go in an ocean. You probably heard about the blue ocean strategy. That is something we're going to talk about in another video. But listen for now. Follow, subscribe. Let me know. There's a way you can contact me somewhere down below there. Get in touch with me. Let me know, Coach Meg, I really want to grow my business. I want to grow my organization. I want to reach more people. I need more strategy and support. And I'll do whatever it takes because you are investing in you. If you see it as, oh, I'm paying a coach, that may not be the right mindset. The best mindset is, I want to invest in me. And this lady is going to help save me a lot of time. Right? Because we'll deal with mindset. We'll deal with what are the strategies that are working. That's part of my job, to do that. To know what's working in the marketplace and what's not. And I kid you not, one of the things that's working in the marketplace right now is the authentic version of you. Your personal brand, who you are, what you stand for, and what you stand against. Whew. We have to choose the colors. You have to decide what colors, what does this brand represent, your personal brand. Your personal brand is you setting yourself free from the limitations you have placed on yourself or other people placed on you. Because remember this as I close. It's not what other people say about you that matters. It's what you decide to say about you. Bye for now.